is.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again,
good afternoon. Clearing up that wreck in Rutherford County. It's moving a little bit better, 24 west near Old Fort Parkway. It's heavy eastbound, of course, pushing towards Murfreesboro. There's still a little bit of a backup just outside of Cookeville as they clean up an accident 40 east. If you're headed towards Knoxville, give yourself a little extra time through Putnam County. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Bring it to the transmission experts at Amco Transmissions, 1212 Gallatin Pike in Madison. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
From driveways to highways, SRM Concrete has the right mix, on time, every time. Locally grown, nationally known, family owned and operated. SRM is the name you trust. SRM Concrete, you call, we haul.
Rutherford weather.
42 tonight under partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 68. I'm WGNS meteorologist Derek Height. Right now, 62.
We do it your way, Sir Pizza.
Join the team at Murfreesboro's favorite pizza restaurant. Sir Pizza is now hiring at all 3 locations. Come by and be part of the team at Sir Pizza.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com.
From the first pitch to the final buzzer, this is where the conversation starts. All sports talk on WGNS and Big G TV, covering the Preps, MTSU, news from Tennessee and nationwide. Now, here's All Sports Talk on the Good Neighbor Network.
And welcome into All Sports Talk for this Monday afternoon. It's kind of a special Monday in Murfreesboro, particularly for those who follow Middle Tennessee Lady Raider basketball. Coach Rick Ensel will coach his, well, maybe not his final game tonight. We hope the season will continue on for a few more games, but for sure it'll be an opportunity to see Coach after he announced that he was going to step down at the end of the season. I'm going to be talking with 3 of his former players today, and all are local youngsters. I'm going to talk with Anne-Marie Brents, Ty Petty, and Shanice Kaysen in separate, not together, but with separate interviews. So Anne-Marie's on the phone, and wish you a good morning. We knew you as Anne-Marie Lanning when we were broadcasting the games.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is me, and I am now married to Bryce Brent. So, yes, and when I was inducted to the Hall of Fame, they asked me, they said, do you want to be inducted as Anne-Marie Lanning or Anne-Marie Brent? And I'm like, I was Lanning when I was there, so let's do Anne-Marie Lanning.
Well, you and your family live here in Murfreesboro. Of course, Bryce is working with the Lady Raiders softball team, and y'all are at all of the home games, I'm sure, and maybe go on the road some. I wanted to ask you, as a young lady growing up and playing basketball, when did you first become aware that there was a college team named the Lady Raiders in Murfreesboro, and when did you start kind of following them?
When I started, so at a young age, my dad had us involved in basketball, but we kind of just did like the city league stuff. So around 8 to 9 is when I really, took on. That was when Stephanie Smith was there. I would go to the camps in the summer, and to this day I can remember some of the drills and chants and stuff they had us doing there, and some of the coaches that were there. But that's when I really took on to, like, knowing that there was a college basketball team in town, and I loved basketball, so it sparked interest. But I wasn't like, at that age you're not really thinking futuristically. So at about 8 and 9, whenever I kind of knew about it and wanted to follow, that was when like Patrice Holmes and them were there.
So you went on to play high school basketball at Riverdale. You were an all-state player. And did you ever play against any of Coach Ensel's high school teams?
Whenever no. So I would have been a freshman. Let's see, I was a freshman 03 to 04. But I don't recall us ever playing them. We didn't go very far into postseason. And I don't remember us playing them during the season. That was when Crystal Horton, that would have been, she had just left and gone over to middle. But no, we didn't ever play them. And then he, got the coaching job at MTSU after I had started, high school. But, like, obviously he was, like, on the radar of he was the coach you wanted to play for. So
you were a very good high school player. And when did you actually decide in your mind that, hey, I want to be a Lady Raider?
When Coach Insel got the job at middle, it really sparked my interest as far as, I kind of had wanted to play for him in high school, and was like, that he didn't recruit players, but it was, if you wanted to be the best, you wanted to play for the best. So I thought, my family and I thought about maybe moving and going to Shelbyville to play. But when he got the job at middle, that was really what sparked my interest of, wow, I could stay home, I could play around my family, and I'm a homebody. So that's really what sparked my interest. And then, I went through my career at Riverdale, and they kind of watched me a little bit, but I'm not sure I was top on their radar, but they followed me around a little bit in the summer. And then it's kind of a cool story of how I got to middle. But yeah, I would go to camps there and just work my little butt off and try to, be seen.
Well, I have heard Coach Ensel's version of your recruitment at Middle Tennessee, and basically it was that he didn't recruit you; you recruited him.
Yeah, pretty much. I was injured in my junior year, sophomore to junior year of high school. And so I had, your sophomore letters that you get from colleges and whatnot, but none of them were MTSU. And then when I got injured, you kind of pump the brakes a little bit, got to focus on getting back to the game you love so much. So that wasn't really my focus yet of where I was going to go to college. And, and then I went to camp at MTSU. They had invited me to, they used to do this thing called Elite Camp, and they had invited me. It was kind of like invite only. And so I went to that, and Coach threw every impossibility at me, put me in a group of people that weren't necessarily the strongest there, or, and we played 3-on-3, and we dominated. Our teams just willed ourselves to win the little competition. But and then they kind of started, that was when Coach McMillan was there, and then they started kind of following me around a little bit in the summer. I remember seeing them on the sidelines at AAU tournaments and whatnot. And then I just at that camp is kind of what solidified it for me and sealed the deal. And Coach, at first wasn't, I don't think, too hip on me as far as she's going to be our number one freshman coming in or anything like that. But I just I got it in my brain that that's where I wanted to go. So I just did everything in my power that I could possibly do to get them to, spark interest in me and offer me a scholarship.
Have you ever thought what you would have done had that not worked out?
No, not really. I had other visits that I went on. I went on a visit to Tennessee Tech and whatnot, smaller schools around too. But I didn't. I didn't really want to go there. I wanted to go to MTSU. So, no, I really just made up my mind and was trying to figure out how to make it work.
Okay, you come in as a freshman. And do you remember your first practice?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty intense. And I just remember, thinking, okay, this is the real deal here. This is not high school, because you come in, you don't really know what to expect. For me, though, like a lot of the girls that were already there, like Jackie Pickle, Brandy Brown, I had already kind of gone over there, kind of seen things. I mean, Coach Inslee, he sometimes has open practices where you can just go in and sit down. His fans are there all the time. But, it was pretty intense. And I don't know. I've always been the type that when I do something, I want to make an immediate impact. And so I was just working my way, just trying to figure out how to, make him have to play me. So
yeah, you and Emily Queen came in at the same time as freshmen, I think, and Jackie Pickle and Brandy Brown were already there because they had played their freshman year the year before.
Right, and I knew Jackie just because I played. One year they picked me up for Shelbyville Sports Shop down at their AAU program, and so I had played with her. But I kind of already knew, because I had been around, I kind of knew what style, and that's what I kind of explained to people when they asked me, how did you handle that? And I'm just well, I knew, I had a relationship with them as further on, when I was younger, so I knew what to expect. I knew what I was coming into. And then, our offense in high school was the same offense that he runs as far as middle and kind of that flex offense. So I knew, I don't know, I feel like I had a step ahead of everybody else, and I think my basketball IQ, I would like to give it a little bit of credit and think that it's pretty high. So, but, I mean, intense would be a great word for him, and just literally just someone you would want to run through the wall for.
Yeah, do you remember, and I know you do, the first time you played in a real game, not an exhibition game, but a real college basketball game?
Yeah, I mean, one of the games I really remember, I probably can't remember what game was after our few exhibition games, but I really remember the LSU game, and that was a real big, I think it was near Christmas time. I think we were on Christmas break, and it was at home, and just the magnitude of the amount of fans that were there, that was really the first time that was kind of wow.
You're going to have to help me here now because my memory's not too good sometimes, but I don't remember you playing as a starter until maybe the middle of the season, your first year. Is that right?
No, I think I started pretty early off. I mean, I made an impact, I think, remembering in the exhibition games. And then I think I was started here and there, but I don't remember not getting a whole lot of playing time. I think a few times I got sick, a stomach bug, and I remember not playing much then. But no, I think I remember playing with Amber, and making a. I mean, I don't know. I just know that I would feed the ball to where he wanted it, and so I wanted to make it to where even if I wasn't scoring, I would try to do something. And we wouldn't say my defense was the greatest, but I just know that I would try to figure out a way, if I'm not producing on offense, to figure out a way to stay out there on the floor. And,
yeah, so you played 4 years, and that's a lot of basketball games, and it's really not fair to ask you to pick out any one game that you remember. But what about some memorable experiences that freshman year?
Well, us beating LSU at home, that was memorable. And then, let's see, I do remember going down to South Alabama, and even though it hurt and that stings, whatnot, we didn't win the championship. We went at the WNIT, and I don't know, it's just a grind when you're on the road and going all the time, and it's just really a learning experience. And that's why I this year watching the girls play this year with so many freshmen. People don't understand. A lot of people have a lot to say about oh, well, they're just young, and that is true, but there's so much more that goes into it, and you come straight from high school being the star at your high school, and then you get to college, and it's brand new. It's not the same, and you're just trying to navigate that. And learn a system, because you might not have been in such a structured system. But that's one thing that I recall with Coach. Like, if you would learn his offense, if you would run it how he wanted it and how, he knows what works. He knew what worked. And so there's so many options off the offense that we would run. Like, there's just so much that goes into it that, it's a grind.
Yeah, you were, and your senior year, there was kind of a dark cloud late in the season, because when Tina Stewart passed away, that just changed everything.
Yes, it did. It was one of the most traumatic situations I've ever been a part of in my life, and it was kind of just a weird day, because my nephew Corbin was born that day. So I was already at the hospital, and Coach had let me miss practice because it was right before we were going to leave for the Sun Belt and the tournament in Hot Springs. And it was just really just bizarre, and just
dark days.
The saddest day of my life that I've ever had been through. And just, you hear about that kind of stuff, but you don't ever think that would ever happen to you. And it was just, it's
all right. I want to ask you, as Coach Ensel, of course, is a great motivator. I think he's one of the best I've ever been around. What do you remember from some of his messages to you girls, either privately or out in the center court after practice, which were you never knew what was going to come out?
Yeah, he had a saying, which we always called a lot of his stuff insulisms, because he had things that I was like, I've never heard of that before. But he used to tell me, like, success would be built on inconvenience. Like, it's not going to be easy, and if you want something, you've got to work for it. And like, that really stuck with me, because like he's such a good motivator on the court, but also it's stuff that I've taken outside of it with what I do now in my profession and just in life. And then there was another thing he taught me, was know my limitations, because at college it's just so different, so much faster. I wasn't the best defender, but I had to know my limitations of the person I was guarding, and just the way he would put things into perspective. And he had a way with it. And like, I already said this earlier, but you literally would want to run through a wall. You made us all rise to the occasion. And I mean, was it easy? No. And people a lot will be like, I've heard he's hard, like he's super hard. And I'm like, yeah, he was hard, but like, wouldn't you want to play for someone like that? Like, he's passionate, he cares a lot. Like, I just recently saw that video of the coach at Maryland chewing that girl out in her face, and I'm like, that's what you want. Like, you want someone that will do that. Coach would chew us out, but and sometimes you try to let some go through your ear and out the other, but you just want someone who was in your corner. And at the end of the day, I knew, like, he loved me, and he was gonna, he wanted the best. And
those things will stay with you for a lifetime, I'm sure. And you've got a family now, and just sit there and enjoy watching the games and cheering for them. And I know it's going to be like that tonight. And we appreciate your time and appreciate your thoughts and your remembrances of Coach Ensel.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. That's Anne-Marie Lanning, Anne-Marie Brents now, and we're going to take a commercial break here, but when we come back, we'll be talking with Ty Petty, who is another local youngster, played 4 years for Coach Ensel. Stay with us now. All Sports Talk will continue after this on WGNS.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Whether you need general vehicle upkeep and maintenance or a complete vehicle overhaul, Hall's Auto Care is here for you. We're locally owned and operated by Greg Hall and have been in business since 2014. You'll get excellent service and trustworthy advice with Hall's Auto Care. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We're ready to help get you safely on the road. Hall's Auto Care, 907 Ridgely Road, just off Broad Street behind Chili's. Online at hallsautocare.net. Hall's Auto Care.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
Whether you're buying or selling a home or commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auction helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Told it to you, 27.5.
When illness or injury turns everyday moments into uphill battles, there are medical professionals who step in with skill, compassion, and unwavering dedication. My name is Joey P. I'm CEO of Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, and we are proud to highlight this month's MMC Heart for Healing recipient.
We recognize Dr. Sean Horwitz, a surgeon at MMC, whose reputation is built on as much his heart as it is his hands. Dr. Horwitz makes every patient feel like his priority. Whether performing complex robotic surgery or providing life-changing breast care, he combines elite technical precision with a rare, compassionate touch that truly defines him. Dr. Sean Horwitz, our MMC Heart for Healing.
If a doctor, nurse, or medical professional has made a difference in your life, tell WGNS. Help us recognize the medical heroes in our community by nominating them for the MMC Heart for Healing Award, and help us recognize the medical heroes in our community.
Every team knows which play can be a winning move. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack, here to help life go right by combining your home and auto insurance. Call me today at 615-890-0850. It's a winning move that saves you time and money. Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack. It's smart to protect them together, to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me help you save by combining your auto and renters.
Good afternoon. They managed to move all the damaged vehicles to the right-hand side involved in this crash. 65 North and Metro Center here at Rosa Park. It's already clogged up over here as it is. That's all we need. 24 westbound out there at Old Fort Parkway in Rutherford County. That wrecks in its clearing stages. Still a little bit slow there in that area. Of course, it's heavy in the eastbound lanes, pushing out towards Murfreesboro. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Bring it to Amco Transmissions, located at 3020 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
Welcome back into All Sports Talk for this Monday, out of a memorable day for Middle Tennessee basketball fans. Coach Rick Ensel announced a few days ago that he would be stepping down after this season. Don't know how many more games he is guaranteed, but we do know there's one tonight out at the Murphy Center, which will you can hear right here on WGNS. But I want to talk to some of his former players and get some of their thoughts about their playing days here under Coach Ensel. And we talked earlier with Anne Marie Brents, and joining us now is Taisha Petty. Hi, Ty. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay, very good. Appreciate you joining us today. I assume you'll be at the game tonight?
Yes, sir. You know I will.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about growing up as a young basketball player, and when did you first realize that there was a pretty good college basketball team in this town?
Honestly, I'm from Murfreesboro, so I've always kept up with the Lady Raiders, right? And then just with my upbringing, when it comes to AAU and basketball, I'm just playing for Tennessee Flight. So I knew I was kind of close-knit with everything that went around, right, when it comes to just Tennessee and the insults, when it comes to women's basketball. So, yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, you were when you got to high school, played for a very good Riverdale team. Y'all won some state championships, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I did. I won 3 state championships.
And did you have in the back of your mind all along that hey, I would like to play for Middle Tennessee?
Yeah, just being family oriented. It was something that I always knew as far as just like leaving my soul, right? I knew I just wanted to go and play at the collegiate level. But I also knew just personally for me, it would have just been, it just made more sense, right, for me to continue my basketball career at a winning program, as well as being able to be close to my family where I knew my family could be there and support me.
Well, I know a lot of people, a lot of coaches saw you play in high school. I assume you had had opportunities to go somewhere else, but I think your heart's always been here, hasn't it?
It's always been, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always been Murfreesboro. Like I said, when it's some one of those things that you just know, right? So I think for me, I knew even back then when the recruiting process started, I never took an official visit anywhere else. I believe at the time you had like 5 official visits, but I never took one because, like you said, I just kind of knew in my heart where I've always wanted to stay and play at.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unusual because they were recruiting 2 players from the same team. You and Olivia Jones both came in at the same time as freshmen, so you kind of had a hometown feeling right away. And I think let's see who else. China Dow came in that year as a freshman too, I think, and I think wasn't it Ebony's senior year?
That was Ebony's senior year. Yes, it was. Yep, I came in Ebony's senior year. And like you said, it was Olivia, it was China Dow. Of course, we still had Kaya Williams, who was, from Mount Juliet. So again, it just felt like home, right? Especially going in with one of my high school teammates, right? It just felt like home.
Well, and 4 years later, when the smoke all cleared, you were the last one standing out of that class, but you had some great experiences. Now you came in, you were a small player, and I think Coach Ensel kind of leans that way a little bit. He likes his point guards to be small and quick and be able to shoot the ball, and you could do all of that. So it seemed like you would be a perfect fit.
Yes, yeah, of course. He just coming in. Very small, right? But as well as just like, for me, it was more of just like the whole, like the knowledge behind what I received, right? Just coming in coming from where I came from when it comes to Riverdale and all the state championships, right? I came in and my freshman year is probably one of the most pivotal moments just in my entire basketball career. Sure, that's something that I definitely take pride in just because of what I learned after my freshman year.
Well, and I was along for most of that, and remember how you struggled, and
yes.
How many times did you hear Coach Ensel say, "Petty, you want to do it your way, but I want you to do it my way"?
Every time. I've heard it literally so much. But again, that was something that I needed. And just looking back now, I didn't understand it. I did not understand it. But it helped me more than I could really just put into words, right? It was definitely, it humbled me more than anything, but it also helped me grow in ways that I never knew was possible, just as a player as well as a woman.
You wind up having a great career here. And I'm not going to, it's not fair to ask you to pick out any one or two games, but I remember your breakout game. It was in a pre-conference tournament in Florida, and I think it was against Mississippi State, and we beat them that day. And
yep, they played us in a zone.
Yeah, you came off the bench and hit a couple of threes, and generally just decided that, hey, I'm going to be a player.
Yes.
And when did you? When did you actually take over as the starting point guard? It was a year or two later, wasn't it?
Yes, I want to say it was almost like the end of my sophomore year. Definitely going into my junior year. But just to hit on that, like you said, everything that Coach Ensel has instilled in me, with him saying, I wanted to do it my way and we got to do it his way, he always ended it with just always be prepared, right? Just always be prepared, because you never know when your time is coming. So I think just the Mississippi game, and Mississippi State game, that's something that I knew, I did not know if I was going to get in. I had no idea, but it was just, again, just always being prepared, just always taking what he's pouring into me, whether that's just me going to the gym by myself or being on the other end, right, with the practice players, pushing my teammates. It was just one of those things of just always being prepared.
Yeah, well, you had a great career here, 4 years, 2 NCAA tournaments, 2 WNIT tournaments. Those are always great experiences, and somewhere down the line it's got to end unless you win a national championship. So, but playing in those games meant a lot, didn't it?
Yes, it's the experience. It's the experience, and that's the one thing that I just genuinely love just about Middle Tennessee, right? It's the experience that they're going to give you. You're going to win. You're going to play against the best of the best, right? And Coach Jensen's always going to prepare us. Everything, from start to finish, he's always going to prepare us for those moments, right? So then when we get to those moments, whether it's the big dance or whether it's the WNIT, postseason is postseason. And that's kind of how I always looked at it. Of course, when we did not win conference and we went to the WNIT, he molded us to still go in to that game just as if we was going into March Madness, right? So both of those, right? It's just truly the experience, and of course, it's always fun to continue to play, right? So that's kind of yes.
Yeah, Brian Barrett was reminding me of that very serious injury you got in the state tournament semifinal game, and did that continue to bother you after you recovered, or has that pretty well taken care of itself?
Yeah, it's pretty well taken care of itself. It was really just like a freak accident. Just diving for a ball, and one of the players was going head on with me, right? And we dove at the same time, and her finger literally just poked me straight in my eye, and she actually dislocated her finger. But yeah, it kind of just took care of its own.
You have already alluded to this a couple of times, maybe, but some of the things that Coach talked about to you individually or in after practice out in the center of the court have stuck with you, I'm sure, and helped you in your later life? Can you remember anything in particular?
It was so much. I think the biggest thing, though, honestly, was he was never going to allow me to cheat myself. Right? I used to, once I got done playing and I came back to talk to, the players after me, that was just one thing that I knew. Everybody has a story, right? When you leave middle, everybody has their own story. And, a lot of people that, came in or started watching me towards the end of my career, they didn't really know my story freshman year.
So let's catch up. Let's catch up with you. What are you doing right now with your life?
So I actually we have franchised a youth player development company here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, called M14 Hoops. So I'm the director of basketball operations as well as the lead trainer. So all in all, I train players, right, to get them prepared when it comes to like player development and their basketball career.
Okay, that's great. I assume you'll be at the game tonight, and we wish. I know you wish you could put that uniform on again for one last time, but we appreciate your time today and your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. That's Ty Petty. A great career as Middle Tennessee's point guard from 2013 through 2017. And we'll be back with our final segment. All Sports Talk will continue after this.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
Dear John, I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done so much. I know you went over and beyond, and that's why I just think the world of you. Thank you. Robert K.
My pleasure, Robert. If you're ever injured, know that we are here for you, too. Call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot. Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
When we started our flagship restaurant on Broad Street, who would have known we'd have grown and touched each four corners of Rutherford County? Now we have locations in South Murfreesboro, Smyrna, West Murfreesboro, and the original on 860 Northwest Broad Street.
Swing by one of our 4 locations after a game for some good food and fun.
Thank you, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and Rutherford County.
Thank you to our patrons and customers.
Thank you.
Good food and fun.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Postseason basketball returns to the Glass House tonight as Middle Tennessee is set to host St. Bonaventure in the second round of the WNIT. Tip-off set for 6:30 tonight. The game will air on the Blue Raider Network right here on WGNS beginning at 6 o'clock. General admission tickets for the WNIT are $10, and they're purchased through the MTSU ticket office. The best way to do that is online through GoBlueRaiders.com. All WNIT tickets are mobile, and fans are encouraged to purchase online in advance of game day. Although game day is here right now, you can still make that purchase right now. Middle Tennessee students will receive free admission by presenting a current physical student ID card at the ticket office, where you'll be issued one complimentary ticket. Gates are open right now. BRAA members, you had your opportunity to get in there at 5 o'clock through the old loading dock entrance located right across from the Smith Center. But again, that's tonight, Middle Tennessee and St. Bonaventure. The winner will move on in the WNIT, probably play on Thursday night in the third round. St. Bonaventure was a winner earlier or over the weekend and have earned the spot to come here to Murfreesboro. But for Coach Rick Insell, who announced his retirement, it's one last ride through this postseason tournament, and tonight that ride gets underway with the Bonnies coming to Murphy Center. All right, a little bit of off-the-floor, on-the-floor news here. MTSU Athletics announced earlier today that it will continue to partner with the world's leading brand for apparel and footwear after signing a long-term extension with Nike and BSN Sports. The Blue Raiders' new contract further strengthens the partnership with both companies, which dates back to 2014, and increases their investment in MTSU Athletics. BSN Sports will continue to be the exclusive service provider for Nike uniforms, apparel, footwear, accessories, and equipment. This enhanced partnership will maximize buying power for the entire university through strategic consolidation of annual purchases. It'll also enhance marketing and promotional opportunities, generate NIL opportunities for student athletes, and provide increased incentives, rebates, discounts, and performance bonuses for Blue Raider championships and postseason appearances. As part of that exclusive agreement with BSN Sports, the MTSU Sideline Store provides the Blue Raider Athletic Department with a cash royalty on all online purchases. You can get the link to that if you don't have it already on GoBlueRaiders.com. All right, looking back on the weekend, Middle Tennessee baseball on the wrong end of an offensive shootout Sunday afternoon, dropping Game 3 of the series with the Missouri State Bears 10-9. Middle now 12-12 overall, 2-4 in Conference USA after being swept by the Bears. Missouri State still undefeated at home at 10-0. They're 15-7 overall and 5-1 in conference play. The Blue Raiders will play a non-conference game tomorrow at Alabama A&M, and due to facilities or lack of, there will be no broadcast of the game tomorrow. You can follow along on stats and on social media. Blue Raiders are back at home this weekend to take on New Mexico State. Blue Raiders softball fell in its final contest with Western Kentucky by a score of 7-5. Middle is now 13-16 overall, 3-6 in conference play. And Middle Tennessee tennis, the men's tennis dropped a 4-0 decision to Cornell on Saturday. It marked the first shutout loss of the season for the Blue Raiders coming into the match. Cornell, a very highly ranked ball club in addition to the Raiders. All right, stay tuned. Women's basketball coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. The Lady Raiders take on St. Bonaventure in the WNIT, and it's all right here on the Big G, WGNS.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back in for the final time, All Sports Talk coming to you on this special Monday here in Murfreesboro. A few days ago, Coach Rick Insell, head coach of the Lady Raiders, announced that he was stepping down. His team will play tonight in the WNIT tournament. And, of course, we hope this is not his last game as we want the season to continue. But it is a time for everybody to get out and show their appreciation for the years that he has put in here and the great success that his teams have had. I'm speaking with Shanice Kaysen, who is another local youngster, and all of the players that I've wanted to talk to today are local kids who grew up kind of in the shadow of Lady Raider basketball. Shanice, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And tell us a little bit about growing up in Murfreesboro and being an athlete like you were. And when did you first become aware that Lady Raider basketball was pretty special?
Oh, man. Growing up here, that's all people ever really talked about as soon as he got there, just how his impact of the way he coached and the passion he possessed was, something that you would want to play for. And so I think about 2006, 2007, I finally started to look into Middle Tennessee basketball, and I started observing. And then I started knowing people that were playing there, which Anne-Marie played during that time. And so I was watching them, and I was like, I think I could play for this man. And then honestly getting the chance to play for him kind of changed my life and changed my path on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to become a coach. So I think he was very impactful for me. Yes, you are the coach of the Laverne high school girls team right now, and just finished your season a week or so ago. And I know there are a lot of things you took from your playing days under Coach Ensel that you've applied there. We'll talk about that a little later, but let's talk a little bit about, again, back when you were in high school and realized that this was a pretty good basketball team to follow. Who are some of your favorite players for the Lady Raiders as you were growing up? Of course, I'm gonna go with say Anne-Marie, and then AC, Alicia Clark, and then Sophia Lyons. I still talk to Chelsea all the time. She's honestly still one of my mentors to this day, and we talk a lot. And I just love the way she played and love the way she carried herself and knew that's what a point guard had to do. So I really looked at her game. And, while I was there, I got to talk to her, and she coached me through some of the rough moments that I was having, to be able to continue to play for him and go forward. Yeah, and a little bit different from some of the other local players. The high school team you played on was not a great team, to be honest with you. You were the best player on the floor. And do you think that hampered your choice, your career in any way? Because you did wind up as a starter at Middle Tennessee. I don't, because I actually got to play for Tom Ensel for Tennessee Flight. For travel ball. So I think I was already, in the family, if you want to call it, and understanding what it would take to play for somebody tough, because Tom was kind of tough on us during the summer. So I already knew what that looked like coming in. I don't think it hindered anything at all other than give me the ability to know what it meant to run a team and be the captain of the ship, because Rick always would preach, I am the captain, I am the leader on the floor while he can't be on the floor. So it prepared me for moments like that. Yeah, and the strong AAU program that we have in the state of Tennessee has produced a lot of players, even though some of them don't play on the better high school teams. I was impressed that the only two freshmen that he brought in that your freshman year, that were you and Stephanie Myers, and you were really alone as freshmen on that team, which was loaded with veterans. Yeah, Stephanie actually didn't come in with me. Stephanie is a year older than me. And I came in with Mackenzie Sells originally, and, she left for a little bit and then came back the following year. So I was really the only freshman. It was tough for me. I had to grow a lot very quickly. Adapt by myself, but I also had great leaders like Ebony and Courtney who were able to facilitate to me on how to grow and how to move in the college world, because it's completely different coming from high school. Yeah, I think was Courtney Jones, the point guard at that time? She was the point guard when I came in, before I was coming in, yes, sir. Right, and she later kind of moved over to give you a little room out there, didn't she? Yeah, she moved over to the 2. Coach put me in at the 1, but that's kind of the same thing he did with me my senior year. I moved over to the 2, and Taisha took over at the 1. He just knows what's best when he's watching. He just knows. She was a better ball handler than I was. And so, but, defensively, he needed me out there. And so we just made, adjustments. And it's taught me how to make adjustments in life and in coaching as well, just watching what he's done.
Tell me about your first experience on the practice floor with Middle Tennessee, and it's a little bit different than high school practice, wasn't it?
Oh man, the intensity, the time that we practiced, how hard we were going. I wasn't used to it, but I will say that the preparation that we had from July when we were able to practice in June, individual practices, the rules are a little bit different now, so they get to do team practices. We didn't get to do those. We did more individual work. And so it prepared you for the time span, but then it still never compared to the physicality, because we were practicing against practice players. So it was a big adjustment, playing with the shot clock as well. I'm pretty sure I got yelled at multiple times by Coach Ensel because I was letting the shot clock run out, and he's like, you gotta control that. But it was great.
Did you ever have doubts in your mind? Can I do this?
Several times, and I think there's several times I wanted to quit, and I would lean on Chelsea Lyman. Because I was like, how did you do it? What did you do? Like, I don't understand what he wants from me. And, sometimes she's like, just go talk to him or just go talk to Kim and figure out what that was. But, I've never been a quitter. I've always just figured out how to do that. But that's something also that he instilled in me, too, is that we don't quit. We just find ways to keep going forward and making sure that you're giving your best, no matter if you feel like you should be quitting. Just keep going.
Tell me about the first time you played in a regular season college game, not an exhibition game, but for the real thing.
Gosh, I was nervous. I think our first real game may have been at UT.
Well, that's quite a break-in.
Oh, man, I was nervous. Big crowd my freshman year there. It's back when they had Kamiko and Strickland. We got beat, but it was just the experience. He did everything to prepare us. They were just bigger and a little bit stronger than we were. But it was just the nerves. But then knowing later on the reason why he put us in those type of situations was so that we could thrive in district.
So in 4 years, you went to 3 NCAA tournaments.
Yes, sir.
One NIT, and that NIT tournament team might have been the best team. They went all the way to the quarterfinals of the National Invitation Tournament.
Yeah, I think so. I try not to look at which team did I play for or did I figure was the best team. I just know I played with some really great players. They individually had some strengths, and then when we all came together, we had, mighty power.
Tell me, you're there, a high school coach. Tell me what has carried over from your experience under Coach Ensel that you've been able to use in your coaching career.
I think just like holding yourself accountable, making sure that you are who you are, knowing how to be a leader so that you can have people that are going to follow you, but positively. And then just not ashamed to be authentically you, because I think I have a lot of coach in me. I got a lot of fire. I coach with a lot of passion. So I think